everyone rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. This is a regular council meeting of the Village of Armada. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you kindly. Call the roll, please.
Shaw.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Conan.
Here.
Wallach.
Here.
Baylor.
Here.
Sledge.
Here.
Duffy.
Here.
Approval of the agenda. What is the council's wishes, please?
Mr. President, I'll move the agenda be accepted as presented.
Support.
That was your motion?
Yeah.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. At this time, the floor is open up to citizens' comments. You have 3 minutes. State your information to the council. There will be no discussion from council after any discussion.
Can you state your name too? Just for...
Want to go first?
Yeah, sure. My name is Marta Nicola. That's my husband Tom Nicola. We own Papa's on Main Street. And I'm here to discuss the issue about the property line that we're having. We started a project and we had a permit approved, and then it was halted by you guys because it was brought to your attention that the property we thought was ours is actually not. And I have a document actually for you guys to see that back in 1948, when the new alley was created, the old one was vacated and handed over to all the businesses. And for some reason, whatever reason happened, we didn't end up with that particular, or whoever owned that particular property didn't end up with that parcel. And we'd like to know if we can somehow, some way take that share of our property that should have been our property back then. If there's anything, like the second page will show, and the third page, if you look through them, it explains how in 1948, all of those business owners deeded the new alley. And I believe all of the old alley was vacated and handed to each parcel at the time. And for some reason, the parcel that we own now, back then, that person didn't get their share of it at all. So now that's the parcel you guys are claiming is yours, which it is now, but we'd like to figure out a way how we can actually, or you can deed it to us. Now that our project is halted, we have a big mess out there. We wanted to invest our money into our business, expand our kitchen, you know, make it bigger, better for the community, for us, for everybody. And it's halted now, and I'd like to know with your help how we can get that piece of property back to us. We've maintained it for 19 years, winter, summer. We paved it over, like 10 years ago, we repaved it. We used it for 19 years. We were under the knowledge that it was our property, but now all of a sudden this came up and our project is halted. So somehow if you guys can work with us for us to obtain this property deeded to us, either deed it to us like it should have been back then, or if you have to appraise it and sell it to me, then do so, I will buy it. I mean, I think that if you did that, you guys would assess me yearly, tax me on it, whatever, you know, just, we need to get our project continued and to get on with our business. So I'm asking you guys to review this, help us. We love Armada, we've been here for 19 years. I want to continue to stay here and serve the community. I just need your approval and your green light and whatever help you can give us to get to that step to continue.
Okay, you're through then?
Yes.
You're offer, okay. Anyone else would like to address the council at this time? Nobody, okay. We will move forward on, there's no presentations tonight. And next will be the administrator reports. Commissioner liaison reports, our August 21st code enforcement report, police action report, the commissioner report to council by Bill. Who wants to start?
I got something. It's kind of a meet and greet. I don't have a report per se. As you know, we've had some changes down at the sewer plant. We've got a new operator down there. And we've also had a gentleman that's been working the water part of our village. And I'd like to take this time to introduce them. Stuart has worked for F&V. He's been down at our plant for a number of years. He's since moved around some other places, but with things that have changed, he's come back for the time being to help the new gentleman out. So I'll pass it off to you, Stuart, and you can introduce the man.
Sure, I'd like to introduce Doug Hartline. He is the trainee at this point. He'll be eventually project manager once we get him onboarded and acclimated with the Michigan way of doing things. He's been all over the U.S. and parts of the world. He's been in the business, wastewater and water business since 1977. And even though he's younger than I am, I don't know how that happened, but anyway, he's been a good asset so far, and we're looking forward to him showing his knowledge down at the plant and taking care of things and everything. So
It's all nice to meet you all.
Welcome,
well,
sir.
Thank you.
For the water side, we have Wally Savage.
Almost, min cabbage.
Did you sign in, Wally?
I
Okay.
Wally's a bit of an old hand already.
Wally is in charge of the water, and he'll be cross-training with wastewater so that we don't have as much personnel issues as we've had in the last couple of weeks. And I do look forward to spending time in the community, but my talents and multiple licenses are always used someplace else, it seems. So Blair basically puts me where I'm needed. So, but I never get tired of somebody's hamburgers. It's great to eat here in the community. We don't have that in many of the towns that we have. We don't have a great restaurant. So, but anyway, the cross training, get both of them cross trained to do that, and then one or two others, and hopefully we'll never have the tree trimming thing you guys had again, and hopefully we'll never have any power outages again like we had on Saturday afternoon, where I'm calling Steve out of his family gathering and everything, and we're hoping the project finishes up well. We've found a couple of things, and we have a construction meeting tomorrow morning that we're going to be at and discuss a few things, and we're hoping everything moves fast and forward, and already these guys are all working with each other, and I'm happy, and I hope you guys stay happy too. So
Great.
So,
Like I say, we just wanted to, so we mentioned names, just so everybody knows who everyone is, and I think it'll all work out real well.
It's a pleasure meeting you all tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And you don't have to stay for the rest of the meeting. That's fine.
we've been here since 6:30 this morning,
Okay.
so we appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, thanks for
No
staying,
offense.
guys.
Have a safe trip back.
Thank you.
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
Y'all have a safe trip home tonight.
No spinach, remember.
Take care. Have
See
a
you
good
guys.
evening.
Steve, you have anything else, or?
No, that's it. I just wanted to introduce those gentlemen and say hopefully things work out well. Doug has, he was down in Virginia. He's moved to St. Clair Shores, so he is relatively close as compared to some of the gentlemen that we've had working for us. So it should work out good. Thanks.
Anyone else?
Yes, I'm going to combine my water department update under old business with the commissioner report. Just a note, and I did put a write-up in the packet. We essentially have gone ahead and signed the check with approval of the consent agenda tonight. The money is going to be on its way to McIntyre Soft Water to replace the G2 Media and 2 of our 4 filtration vessels. So that's underway. I'm working with McIntyre to try to firm up the schedule for replacement. Right now we expect probably by the middle part of December to have that project completed. Also put in the packet, and perhaps there's an opportunity for a little bit of discussion. There's no motion here on this, but I need to get council's thoughts on this. This is about the Zoning Board of Appeals viability. Currently, the village does not have a ZBA in any sense of the word. You've got several members that continue on. I continue to be the secretary. You've got Don DePalma, who I ran into this weekend, who's indicated that he will still participate. Dennis Lemieux is on the board. In talking with Dennis, Dennis has indicated that he would take the currently vacant position of board chair. We don't have a vice chair. We're still not quite sure about Mike St. John. Michelle, what he's going to do. I've tried to contact him, and I've asked Don to contact him. The bottom line is, without Mike St. John continuing on the board, we do not have a quorum, and we do not have a board chair.
You have Christy Patterson on you.
I'm sorry, yeah, Christy's on also. Still don't have a quorum, and Christy is the Planning Commission liaison, but she's not in the position of the chair or vice chair. So that presents a problem.
You're only missing,
We're missing one.
yeah.
Right.
And you don't have a quorum if one's missing?
You got to have 5. So we don't have without Mike St. John, unless I've done my math wrong.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on there. And if one's not there, you still have 4. That's a quorum, unless I'm reading it wrong.
Maybe I'm doing my math wrong, but I'll go back and look at it. But the point, I guess my point is that I believe we have an appeal coming before the board soon, sometime within the next couple months. As a secretary, I've already talked to the individual. I don't know if they're going to put in an appeal or not, but we don't have a viable board at this point in time, I don't believe. And so I just wanted to make council aware that council, since it's dipped its toe in the waters with the transitional overlay district, can also act as a ZBA. The last meeting of the ZBA for any kind of a set of appeals was back in 2018. So you can again appreciate that you get a group of people together to review appeals that come before it, and nothing happens for a number of years. It's not surprising that people say, okay, well, I'm done, I've done my time, no cases came before us, and so I'm out. And a way to potentially resolve having to find new members constantly and get new members trained. Again, these people are making semi-judicial decisions. And so you want people that have some understanding of planning and zoning, not somebody that comes in that is not really aware of the process and the procedures and so on. So, and it's not that we can't take an individual who has no knowledge and train them up, but it's time, it's effort, and it's money to do that. And we've done that before. We took 4 sessions to train up the last group of people for the 3 cases we had in one night back in 2018. So, again, I don't want to make a motion tonight, but I just want council to think about whether they want to continue to try to maintain a ZBA of independent members, or because council is now making decisions, at least with the transitional overlay district, ZBA type decisions, council could also act as a ZBA. So just would ask you to think about it, but we're gonna have to do something soon. I will go back and check my math and make sure that,
Well, if you're thinking about a vote with an even number.
Yeah, I think you have a quorum, Ross.
yeah, it
First
sounds
off,
even as
And I
a,
think what your concern is, because I think what you're alluding to is ZBA sometimes have to have a supermajority vote. So when you lose, I don't care what the size is, when you start to lose people, you almost have, sometimes you get to a unanimous decision. In other words, you gotta get all four. Well, sometimes the petitioner says, you know, that's not really fair, I'd like to postpone until I get everybody. That happens quite frequently. So I think you're good on the quorum, you can conduct business.
it sounds like it.
But when you get to that 2/3 vote, you know, supermajority vote, that's where, like I said, you gotta hit a grand slam to get it through, and that's sometimes hard to do. So, you know, we've struggled with a lot of the boards. I think, you know, it's worth looking at. You know, it's not a heavy workload, it doesn't sound like.
No, it's,
18.
that's one of the reasons, frankly, why I'm putting it before
Right.
the group, is it is not a heavy workload. Again, last set of appeals that we reviewed were back in 2018, it's now 2021. So, not a lot of work to do. We would have to restructure, I think we would have to modify the zoning ordinance to do it. So there's a little bit of effort there, but that work may be offset by the fact that we've always got to go out and find people to be on the board and then try to maintain them. And then what do you do with them when you don't have any meetings effectively for a number of years? And you want people there that have some knowledge of planning and zoning, and a lot of people here on the board now do have served before or are involved today. So I appreciate your comments, Jeff, and I want council to think about it, because as I say, I believe a case is coming before us, and as a secretary, I'm the guy that's going to have to scramble, but I'm not in a position now to make those decisions because I'm not the chair or the vice chair. Right? I had to move out of that position once I got on council. So currently there's nobody in a chair or vice chair position to the best of my knowledge.
Well, if need be, we can always advertise immediately.
We can.
We should find out about Mike.
The
you know,
board
first thing
is
we-
full right now. You have to make sure that Mike is not coming or staying or what he's doing, so.
Yeah, he has a-
The good news is,
No, he is not, he is not.
yeah, the good news is, even if Mike says no, and I believe you guys are correct now, I'm not sure why I was thinking something different here about the quorum. In talking with Dennis has said that he would take the position if voted by the group, if approved by the group. It's got to be voted in. So,
Well, and I think when I spoke to Mike, and if Mike watches this and if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I think he implied, he doesn't want to be president or chair of the board.
No.
So maybe if Dennis will take that, maybe you'll still have your.
and with
your
a quorum, then
Yes.
maybe we're okay.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
a slim.
Yeah,
It's just barely the right number
Right.
number of people.
Right.
And but Don did say that he would participate at least for this one next case. So maybe
okay,
that
well, maybe,
gets us past that
right.
hurdle,
Yep.
and then after that then we make a decision. So
Yep.
okay, a couple other issues, but please consider that. A couple other issues is we did receive a letter from Eagle asking us to revise our lead copper sampling plan. I talked to the Eagle point of contact, got a little bit additional time, and in fact met with Dave Reicher today on it. Nothing serious. Nothing serious, but in any case, we're working on that with Eagle. We've got a DPW roundtable this Friday. Chris and Steve, if you guys are available at 9 o'clock. I know Dave's got some things he wants to talk to you guys about. And then last but not least, we had talked at the last meeting or two about some thank you letters. So Mr. President, I appreciate the thank you letters you sent out to the DPWs. That's great. I think it meant a lot to them to get those. Well, we've got a lot of other people, both in the village and in the township, and even outside of the village and the township, that came in and assisted us in discussions with Kathy Dinkins from Fort County Community Foundation. She is giving us $1,000 under the auspices of I think it's called the 9/11 National Service Day general grant that's out there. She's got $1,000 for us to put on a community appreciation day or a thank you day for all the people that we will never know that helped this community out to recover from the tornado. I think we ought to use the money and hold some kind of a little shindig in the park or something like that. COVID, I guess, is a consideration, but with council's approval, I'll start to put some ideas together and see what we can do. Seems like it's going to be paid for, won't cost us anything. If we do it, it would be probably appropriate to invite people in like Mark Hackle, the DTE lead, Stephanie, trying to remember her name, and we've got a laundry list of people. Yeah, thank you. Laundry list of people, just to give short speeches to the community and let the community come in and congratulate itself on helping their neighbors out and doing good stuff to bring the community back online. So I think that's all I got.
But we did originally publicly also, to recollection, we did thank everybody.
Yep.
Well, not everybody, because you don't know everybody.
We don't
Well,
know.
I mean, we
The
broadly.
word was out.
Yeah.
So that, as far as I'm concerned, it was out.
No, that's fine, but, I mean, am I hearing we don't want to take advantage of the money and do something?
No, I didn't say that.
No, I just want to make, I mean, I'm happy to work it and put it together and inform council on a couple options.
If council wants you to do that, it's up to council.
Yes.
So
I think
the
it's a
next
good
meeting, would
idea.
you bring it back for the next meeting
Yeah,
for
bring it
then
up.
as a?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds
but
good.
the money's there and I
Yeah,
think we ought to take advantage
do
of it.
that.
Okay, good.
That should come under new business.
Yes,
Mhm.
that would.
Yeah, good point.
Anything else?
Mr. Flood, just a quick update on streets. Obviously, you can see that the sidewalk program is well underway, and actually the main route is complete now. A couple little hiccups along the way of getting a temporary easement worked well. The property owner is very cooperative of getting around the tree there. It worked out great. Everything else is coming together with it. Tree removal and stumping has resumed. Dave, our DPW, took care of the park, but there's been some tree trimming. The biggest chunk seemed to be First Street had more complaints. They were out there today, started and picked 2 or 3 already and getting dead tree branches out. And we'll continue around, and that should clean that up. We should be of no issue getting our project complete well under before the date. We have 61 flags for the storm damage to take care of. I've got at least one. I'm thinking, theoretically, I've got 3 vendors to get quotes out to, but it's helped me here, Michelle or Joe, on how to make sure how to get that out to those folks. Or if I just call and get my own, or just want to make sure I'm doing it the right way.
Jeff, you can just send them out to 3 bidders.
Yeah, I mean,
We don't
I
really have
probably-
time to.
what I do is, just for kind of getting a ballpark, Chris, I think I would take your unit price that you got from the current vendor and then multiply it by 61 flags, whatever.
That's what I did.
Linear
yeah,
feet
exactly.
give you.
I took that into the square
And then-
footage. And,
Right, and based on that aggregate number, then
Mhm.
that will determine what you have to do per the ordinance, just. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, because
Perfect.
it's a cost thing.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
Yeah, that may have, I mean, if we exceed 10,000, then you have to.
It's
come back
gonna
to
be
council.
it's gonna be at least 12. My
Right.
my rate is like 12.5.
Right, so we'll get that in front of council to approve, and, yeah, and the ordinance will tell you, what you need to do as far as quotes or bids or RFP, whatever you.
So we'll bring it back to the next meeting for
Yes.
approval.
Chris, I did have a question. the Main Street, West Main, I did coming in this evening, see, there were still some stumps, they're like, they cut them down, but they're still kind of leaning over. Is that the stuff that Dean Reinhardt was gonna
Yes.
do? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And it's still, yeah, and actually just as far as I hear, it has just more recently come on, or back online.
Did they take the 18 out originally?
No, because that's part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
They got the ones closest to the
Because that
fair.
was,
Yeah.
we were told that those are gonna be removed pretty near immediately.
Yeah, and we didn't get
Well,
to.
because
The
of
fair got,
Oh,
the
because
fair
the
got in the
fair
way,
Fair got in
yeah.
the way, and then also he was working over to Richmond for the good old days.
Oh.
So he told me
Now,
that he would be probably this week.
because we still got stumps that, have been overturned
Mhm.
that are on the other side of the sides, between the sidewalk and the street.
Mhm.
And some of them aren't all that big. I would think we could take a couple of them.
We can,
Yeah,
Dave,
the stuff
Dave
grinder.
knows it is, well, or, yeah, but if it's removal, then.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have, like, Dave went over, took care of the park. We can, he's been doing some sidewalk.
And I don't know
work.
what the plans are there.
The plan was to have around there, basically pick everything out of there, and then take it over to the transfer site. Obviously, and Dave Wagner and I have been talking about it too, as their capacity comes available. As they've wrapped up, there's no more water main replacement, sidewalk repairs, things like that. He has, again, if our equipment's capable, he can do whatever removals and that he sees fit.
That's it then?
That's it, thank you. Thanks, Dave.
Police action report. Mr. Ballard, did you have something on that?
Yes, I have. I've got a couple things here. First of all, we've had an audit by the state of Michigan regarding our lien programs in here. And apparently we need some more security that's on there. And so Chief Patrick has authorized, and I have also authorized, our village off-site computer technician, Aaron, who is familiar with our systems and has worked on them in the past, is able to develop and install the necessary programs for our computers. The cost for the work will be performed is $1,710. They should be completed within 30 days as required by the state. Also, I talked with Chief Patrick on, he claimed that we have a problem with our in-car radar, and I told him to get it fixed and purchase a new one, to have the old one in as a spare. And he said it's a good idea, so he's gonna take care of that. That'll be about $1,500 plus or minus. Also, I had suggested that he gets a new speed box that we put out by the road with the lights on it. That'll be about another $1,500 to $1,700, and I told him go ahead and get it.
Another one or a replacement?
Another one.
Okay.
And we're gonna take the one that we have there, and we're gonna put some lights on it, and flashing lights and whatever we have to do with it. So we'll take care of that. How much that's gonna cost, I have no idea. But anyway, that's it. As far as our action report, we had traffic stops. We had 96 with 14 parking violations. This is during the fair. Assists to EMS, we had 6. Assists to other agencies, 7. We had suspicious calls of 12. Reckless driver complaint of 1. Civil dispute of 1. No dog and animal complaints. Disturbances were 5. Alarm or open door, we had 2. Domestic calls, we had 3. Lockout, 2. Death investigations, 1. Runaway juvenile, no kids ran away. There was no property damage. There was 1 mischief call. Miscellaneous calls for service was 13. Officer initiated activities was 8. Mental health issue was 1. Lost and found property were 3. We patrolled 2,932 miles in August. That's it.
Very good, Mr. Ballard, thank you. Anyone else?
I just wanted to, you guys haven't, I just left it on the tables, I think the letters that Trustee Conant had asked that we send one to the fair, which we did, President Wolak signed it. We also did one to the city of Richmond, one to the village of Romeo. President Wolak and I attended the city of Richmond's meeting and just did it under their citizens' comment. We read the letter and President Wolak also addressed them. We're going to be going to the Romeo one also. That one hasn't happened yet.
And if anyone doesn't know it, on the way back, we had a very bad mishap to my vehicle. The deer ran out and got my front end of my new vehicle. So,
Put it in your trunk, didn't you?
no, I don't eat venison.
It was a little one.
A1 sauce.
No,
No, I don't want nothing to do with it.
no.
So, but it's, my vehicle's in the shop and I don't know what the cost is yet. AAA has looked at it last Friday and so it'll be fixed, but they're talking close to 5,000. So
He smoked it.
Yeah, sounds like-
There was no getting away with it.
Mr. President, I do have one more thing from Chief Patrick, if I may.
yes,
Says the 2021 Armada Fair returned in grand fashion with a reported record-breaking 74,000 attendees. Extra police personnel provided a great presence on the grounds to ensure the fair was a safe and enjoyable event for those who attended. The Armada Police Department was assisted by Richmond Police Department, Romeo Police Department, Macomb County Sheriff's Department, and the Michigan State Police, who had troopers in the area. This cooperative effort was very much a success. As in years past, there were no serious or exceptional crimes reported. Enforcement actions on the grounds and throughout the village resulted in several misdemeanor arrests and traffic violations, with 14 parking violations issued on village streets. Having such a large event in a small town is always a challenge. It takes the commitment of this department and the residents of the village to make it work. Chief Patrick says, "I am proud, as always, to be a part of such a great community."
and, it's a good job.
It was a great
No major injuries that we know of either, so there was no deaths or anything. Just like with our tornado, there was nothing to that caliber, which was a blessing to us. So thank you for your report, Mr. Bell.
Thank you.
General business. Our consent agenda. Approval of the regular council meeting minutes of August the 23rd and payment of bills. What is council's wishes, please?
Mr. President, I'll move the consent agenda be accepted as presented.
Support.
By Ballard and Clark. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. We already took care of the old business, unless you have something else, gentlemen?
I've just got a little bit of an update. SBR tank number 2 is pretty much done. We have to wait for aqua aerobics before things get fired up. And I just got a text from Doug Skyless. I've been in contact with them because it was scheduled, we weren't going to come out until the 26th. And all this time we've gained in getting it set, we've been sitting. And they were holding fast that they couldn't do anything better than the 26th, and then just tonight, he said they'll be coming the 20th. So, I mean, we gained some time. We're just worried about tank number 3. We're getting into October, and you're gonna get into cold weather, and they have to reline things and paint things and seal things, so we'll see what'll happen. I mean, we were in the same situation with tank 1. We started the tail end of winter, so. Let's see what else I have. I think that's about it.
Okay. Mr. Duffy, did you have anything?
Yes, sir.
No, nothing to do. Okay, new business, petition of the Macomb County Treasurer to strike certain personal property taxes from the tax roll. And single audit for sewer plant improvement project.
They're both Joe.
Joe, yeah.
The audit, we get that about once every 3 to 4 years.
Do the first one, the petition first.
Oh.
Yeah.
This, I'm sorry, I said audit, I meant the foreclosure. We get
Okay.
from Macomb County Treasurer's Office, and we do not collect delinquent taxes here in the village to our system. We have no warrants to collect delinquent. So we have a agreement, signed agreement contract with Macomb County. They collect our delinquent taxes. So they make the efforts, they go through everything to make the collections, and when they feel that it's just a lame duck, they're not gonna get anything out, it's just gonna sit there, it's gonna do nothing, they request permission to strike it from the rolls. So it's,
So that's what that is.
Do we lose that amount then, right?
yeah, if it's not collected, because when they collect it, as soon as they collect it, they send me our percentage of, we don't get paid any on the interest or penalties or anything, but the actual base tax, they do send to me. So that's a base tax that will not be sent to me.
Now, when they strike these or write them off somehow, in other words, it's done and that's it.
Yep, there's no
And we
appeal.
won't get anything ever,
Not from that parcel, no.
not from that parcel. So, in any future, they'll go after them again, same process, is that it?
With each tax that's turned over to them, it'll be a new tax year, it'll be a new process.
Okay. So does history repeat history then on that?
Sure.
I haven't ever seen two of the same people come through in multiple years. And we haven't really had that many in the last 10, 15 years. We may have had 3. So I haven't seen any repeat parcels.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
How about your senior audit?
No, there's a motion for this one.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
Mr. President, I'll resolve to accept the petition of the Macomb County Treasurer to strike certain personal property taxes from the tax rolls.
Support.
Moved and supported, Ballard and Shaw. Any further discussion? There's no money involved, so we don't need a roll call, right?
Yeah, we're not spending any money.
Yeah.
We're just not getting any money.
Yeah.
Well, always hopeful we get some money, you know. So, I hope it doesn't always happen that way. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. So the single audit for the short plan improvements project?
That's exactly a single audit, which is separate from our regular audit. And when you're getting government money, it over 175,000, I think it is, and we're considerably over that. So it does require a single audit from our auditors. So this is additional work that they will be doing this year for our audit process, and we'll have to compensate them.
Okay, so that involves, I think I'm seeing $6,300 and some dollars?
Yep.
6350.
Yes, $6,350, you're right.
Now, the results of their audit goes to the state, or what?
Yes, they will send in the audit to the state.
Okay.
We'll obviously get a copy of it as well. But we as a municipal board members don't have to have any input into it. It's an actual audit by the auditors.
Okay, what is the council's wishes, please?
Mr. President, I resolve to accept the proposal from McBride, Manley and Company in the amount of $6,350 to form a single audit of money spent on the sewer treatment plant improvements.
Support.
By Clark and Ballard. Any further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Clark,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Delkey,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
Sletz,
Yes.
Bullock.
Yes. Motion carried. Up and coming agenda items, council have any, please?
I've got 2. I will bring back, actually I got 3. I'll come back and advise council on the current situation of ZBA membership and quorum. I believe you are correct, as I think about it now. I'll also come back and talk about 9/11 National Service Day and a couple options, what we might do with the funding. And the third thing is 4 County will be here and do a short presentation on what's called the Heart and Soul Initiative. It's really a community sensing initiative. Another activity that I think is largely going to be paid for after the tornado that we had and the impact on the community, but then the outpouring of support for the community, both within the community itself and outside from the township and others, may not be a bad initiative to undertake. Again, it's largely involves pulsing community members, both village and township, about where they want the township and the village to be in the future, and it appears that it will be paid for. So, I have Kathy Jenkins here to provide a presentation to the council.
Thank you.
So, yeah, 3 items.
Next is the citizens' comments. Anyone in the audience would like to address the council at this time? Showing there's none. Council comments at this time? Any? Community events to be announced? We have none? Okay. We're gonna have an executive session tonight. And what is council's wishes?
Mr. President, I'll resolve to enter an executive session at 7:43 after a 5-minute recess.
Supported.
Supported by Sled. Any further discussion?
I just want to make sure everybody, the purpose of the closed session is to discuss the potential purchase and sale of real property. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that public.
Yeah, the other one was wrong.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Barrowski.
I'll call roll.
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Slutz,
Yes.
Delphi,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Walk.
Yes. Motion carried. So we have a 5-minute recess.
Yep.
And just for the benefit of the camera and the viewing audience, the general meeting will be halted to enter into the executive meeting. The camera will be turned off. It will not be recording the closed meeting. No motions will be made, no votes will be taken in that meeting, and the camera will not return, as when you return, you will only be adjourning the meeting.
Thank you.